Yeah.
Okay. Right. Hi, everyone. So for those of you who haven't met me, I am Mrs. Evans. So just so you know, this is being recorded for you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it out afterwards, or Miss Hinchlif's going to send it out. She's kindly helping me today. Neither of us are very technically orientated, so hopefully it goes okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through what we're going to be doing in Krakow and what the days are going to look like. And then at the end, I'll answer any questions. If you think of any questions and you don't want to say them, just you can write them in. There's a question and answer section apparently that you can write them in. So feel free to write them there, and I'll try my best to answer them. Any questions that I can't answer, I will find out the answers for you. So thanks for joining me. I'm really looking forward to the trip. It's been a lot of us all getting ready for it, but with us going on Monday, the excitement's setting in now, and it's really nice having all the students come and say how excited they are about it. Makes it all worthwhile. So it's fantastic. So this is Krakow. Let me just talk you through day by day, and then I'll go through some key information. I've tried to think of as many things as I can that you might need. So on day one, which is Monday, it's our Hyndburn to Gatwick day. Now, I appreciate, thank you for bearing with us with that. It's just because the flights from Manchester have been cancelled, which is why we're having to do this. So students will arrive at normal time into school, and they're going to meet in an arranged place, which is my office. So I'll let students know, and they can bring all their baggage to my office, and they're going to give me their passport. I will take their passport off them at that time, so that I've then got it for the majority of the trip. I'll give it to them when they need it. They can wear their own clothes on Monday, and the luggage, as I say, will be stored in school, and it'll be in my locked office for the day. We're going to have period 1 and 2 as normal, have lunch, which finishes at 1:30. At 1:30, we're going to meet in the dining room, and the coach should be arriving at that time. And then we've got half an hour to get on the coach, and we leave at 2:00. On the way down to London, we're going to stop at services for tea. So that's not included in the price, and that will be, we'll just stop somewhere where there's a Burger King or something. Fast food's going to be the key thing. Every time the students ask me, they say, what are we eating, what are we eating? So we'll stop somewhere where they can get some food, and then we'll arrive at the Premier Inn at Gatwick at 8:00. I actually think it's working out better that we're going the day before, if I'm honest with you, because the flight originally from Manchester was going to be at, I think, something like 7 a.m. in the morning, which would mean getting to Manchester for 5 a.m., which would mean leaving Hyndburn at sort of 4 a.m. And therefore would have been an incredibly long day for them. So as long as they sleep on day one, they should be in a better fettle for going to Poland. So day 2, which then would be Tuesday, is our Gatwick to Krakow day. So we'll get up very early. I think we might get up a little bit later than this. This is the time that I've been given, but from the people who've organised it. But we're very close to the check-in, so it might be a little bit later. But between 5:30 and 6, we will wake up, have breakfast in the hotel, which is included, and then the check-in opens at Gatwick at 6:55. We're staying in a hotel which is basically on the terminal, the north terminal where we're flying from. So from where our hotel is, it's apparently just literally across the road is the check-in. So we won't need any transport there or anything like that. While we're at the airport in Krakow, we will buy things for lunch. So there'll be a WH Smith there for them to get some sandwiches, or basically sandwiches and crisps and things like that. That's not included in the price. Lunches aren't included, but students can help themselves to whatever they want there. We'll then fly to Krakow. Students have been allocated seating. I haven't done that, so they'll need to sit in the allocated seats. If beforehand they decide that they're going to switch with someone, then as far as I'm concerned, it's okay. If the flight attendants say that they can't, then they can't. So we'll sort of play that by ear. Then when we arrive at Krakow, we'll collect our bags. The coach is picking us up from the airport and taking us directly to the hotel for check-in. When we get to the hotel, we'll be having the lunch that we purchased earlier at Gatwick. So we'll have a really, really quick lunch there. And then we have a walking tour of Krakow. That'll be a walking tour of the old town. It'll take us to a couple of castles. We won't be able to go in them, but it'll give us the main sites of what Krakow is like, and the history of the city as well. So I think students will really like that. It's going to be quite a lot of walking, just so to please warn them. It's going to be a lot of walking this holiday. That's what I do when I go to a city. I know I'm sure that's what you guys do, just walk and walk to find out about it, but it might be a bit of a shock to some of the students, so please let them know. After the walking tour, we'll arrive back. We have evening meal at the hotel. That is lasagna, and it's included in the price. If students want something different, then they need to bring snacks and things that they can eat, because that's what it's the same for everyone, basically. Then in the evening, they have free time in their rooms. I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Day 3 is our Auschwitz day, which is jam-packed. So we'll wake up at about 6:30. We have breakfast. So we'll wake up about 6, get them down for 6:30. Breakfast is included in the price. At 7:30, we'll meet the coach at the hotel, and the coach will take us to Auschwitz. That's because if you're a group, you can only go to Auschwitz at a particular time. So you have to be there at 9:30 exactly. So we'll do a walking tour of Auschwitz. We have a tour guide who's going to walk us around and tell us all about it. I think it'll be fascinating for students. I know that they are incredibly interested to see it, and I'm preparing them for what they're going to see. I think it's going to be difficult, but also interesting for them. After the walking tour, we'll get the coach back to Krakow, and the coach is going to drop us in the Jewish quarter. I've asked for the coach to drop us at a shopping centre, not necessarily for shopping, but for lunch. So their students will have an hour where they can go off at this shopping centre. Again, there's going to be different outlets for food, KFC, McDonald's, different things like that, or Costa Coffee's things, cafes for them to go and have their own lunch in wherever they desire within that complex. Then we're going to leave, and I'm going to do a tour of the Jewish quarter. So we're going to explore it as a group. We're going to go and look at some key places from Schindler's List. We're going to look at the old synagogue. There is some actual remnants of the ghetto wall, which we'll be able to see, and we'll be able to go to the Platz where a lot of the selections happened in terms of when Jews were chosen to go to concentration camps or to stay in the ghetto, and also where the liquidation took place as well. So I've got everything prepped for that. We'll then walk back to the hotel, and we'll have evening meal at the hotel again at the same time. It's pork schnitzel, which for those that don't know is basically breaded pork with potatoes. That's included in the price. The school has agreed, Miss Palmer has kindly agreed to book the bowling area for us, and so we'll have that from 8 until 10 that night. Only will be allowed in there, so it's 2 bowls, 2 lanes for bowling. There's also a pool table, there's a seating area and things like that. So and we'll have it just to ourselves, so that's really kind of her to do that. And I think it'll give students a little bit of a release after what I think will be quite a busy day for them. But then it's bedtime. Day 4 is now the Thursday, so we'll have breakfast at the hotel. They'll have a bit of a lie-in, 8:30. They should be pleased with that. Breakfast is included. Then we'll check out from the hotel at 9:30, and we have free time in Krakow Centre. So what we're going to do then is we're going to get the tram into Krakow Centre, which is included in the price. The school's paying for that. We'll get the tram in. Myself and the teachers are going to base ourselves in one of the cafes where students know where we are, and they'll be allowed off in groups of and then come back and see us, so we've got a base where they always know we are, and during that time they can go off and get lunch. Again, that's not included, but there's loads of cafes, there's a McDonald's, again there's loads of different places where they can go to get lunch. We'll go back to the hotel, and at 2 o'clock the coach will depart for the salt mines. So we'll arrive in the salt mines, and we're there for a couple of hours. Now, just I've spoken to the lady who's organised all this for us today, Natalia, who's lovely, and she asked me to she let me know that the salt mines are incredibly cold, very, very cold. So they need layers. In fact, I'm going to go over that for the trip, but they really do, because you're going right down. Apparently, I've never been, but apparently it's fabulous. But you go right down, so it's very cold and sort of damp, etc. Then we go to the airport. We'll have arrival at the airport, check-in and tea, which again isn't included, and we'll fly back to Manchester. All being well, the flight to Manchester lands at 11, and the coach will pick us up at midnight. Now, I'm hoping that there won't be any traffic, touch wood, at that time, so we should get back to Hyndburn about 1:45. However, I don't want to say that's for definite because I don't want you to panic if we're not there. So what I will say is that as soon as we land, I will get students, I will check that every single student has texted you or spoken to you to say that we've landed. And I'll also make sure that they tell you when we're on the coach, so you know when it is that we're setting off. So it'd be between 1:15 and 1 o'clock-ish, I think. So some key information. So we're very lucky, actually, looking at the weather. Again, when I was speaking to Natalia today, it's usually at this time in Krakow about 2 degrees, and they're having some kind of winter heat wave, she called it to me. So it's currently saying it's going to be about 12 degrees, 13 degrees on average, really. I think 15 might be pushing it a bit, but it's still going to be relatively chilly for them because we'll be out all day. So please make sure that they do wrap up warm. She was saying to me the key is layers. So please make sure that they have a waterproof coat, they have good walking shoes, and that they're wrapped up really warm for the weather. And they've got lots of options. A few things that I've thought about. Please don't forget that they'll need an adapter. I was going to show one, actually. It's one of the two-pronged adapters. It's a European one. They'll need that for any hair dryers or any, oh, my husband's just gone running to get one. Any hair dryers, or if they've got a phone or anything like that, they'll need that. Please also make sure if you want for students to bring trips for throughout, snacks for throughout the trip. So it can go in the hold luggage too. Don't forget, so it doesn't have to be in their backpack on the flight. I'm just thinking that we're eating at very strange times because of the way it's all worked. Thank you. An adapter. Because of the way it's all working. Some days you'll have noticed we're not eating lunch until 2:30. So I would suggest for them to snack throughout the day. Feel free to send them with whatever snacks it is that you want. If they want to bring any games for the rooms in the evening, that's fine. Cards, Uno, anything like that. If you want to send them with a tablet or something for them to watch when they're in the evening, that's entirely up to you. But please make sure they've downloaded anything. There is Wi-Fi in the hotel, but I don't know how good it is. But again, that's at your discretion, and we're not responsible for those. It would be the children that are responsible for any tablets or anything like that. But if they've got cards or anything like that that they'd like to bring, they're more than they can bring those. If they also bring a refillable water bottle, that would be fantastic. Again, I'm going to send this out, so please don't worry about writing everything down. A refillable water bottle so that they can drink throughout the day. Obviously, there'll be times for them to get themselves Diet Cokes and other drinks, but just to make sure that they've always got some water, we'll get some from the hotel in the morning, and then they don't have to pay for drinks throughout the day if they don't want to. For the flights, they are allowed one backpack, which is the dimensions are on there. That's basically an under the seat backpack, rucksack type thing, or shoulder bag, although I would suggest not a shoulder bag because we're doing so much walking. And then one hold bag, which will go in the hold in the plane, and that's 15 kilograms. So any shampoo, any liquids, etc., please make sure that they're in the hold bag. Because I think my next one is, yes, they can only have 100 millilitres of liquid in their rucksack, of course. So everything else must be in the hold, so it's quite handy, actually. Some of the girls said they were pleased that they could bring a proper bottle of shampoo with them. Because they've got lunches and a couple of evening meals, we're recommending approximately £70 to £100 for those meals, either on card. I've spoken to someone who's there at the moment, and they do accept card pretty much everywhere, or zloty is their currency. If you'd like to send your child with more, then that is again at your discretion, and children are responsible for their own money. If you would like me to hold their money, then please let me know, and I will do, and I can give them a certain amount each day. If you would like that to happen, that is a possibility. If you just give me an email tomorrow and let me know your child's name and how you'd like it to work, then I'll do my best to do that for you. Just I know some children spend £100 in Manchester Airport on the first day, and then they might be a bit in trouble. So if you want to do that, please let me know. Because we're getting back so late, Miss Palmer has said that students don't need to be in school until 10 a.m. on the Friday, so they can have a little bit of a lie-in and a little bit of a rest, and then they're in for the rest of the day on the Friday, but then they have got the weekend to rest and recuperate. So we're really looking forward to it. I can't wait to take him. And I think it's going to be, like I say, a very interesting trip for them, one that they're going to enjoy, and it's also going to make them really think about about history and bring history to life a little bit as well. So I'm going to come off my thing now and have a little look if there are any questions. So if I go to the questions section, let me see. I've not got any at the moment that I can see. If you've got any questions, feel free to write them in the question boxes. Or can people unmute, Zoe?
No, they can't.
Right, okay, that's fine.
They can if they raise the hand.
Oh, right, okay. If you raise your hand. Hopefully I've covered everything that you need. If you think of something, I have my phone, my emails to my phone, so over the weekend I'll be able to answer any questions that you might have. As I say, this is all being recorded, so it's going to be sent out for you with all of the information that that there is, and if you can send students in with any questions too. So hopefully that has been useful. It's a bit strange just talking to myself. I'm not used to it. Normally it's a classroom of 30 students all either smiling or frowning at me. So thank you very much anyway for coming on. Any questions, again, please just email, let me know. And again, when it comes to the money, if you'd like anything, if you'd like me to sort that out or you'd like anything in particular, then please let me know. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening.